Good day, everybody. This is the Ecclesiarch here, back to you with some more Horus Heresy Legions card reveals. And today we are going to be presenting some cards for the Dark Mechanicum, which is going to be the latest faction added to the game, and one that a lot of people have been expecting for quite some time. Now, of course, before we get into the cards themselves, I want to reveal to you the new keyword that is going to be for this new faction, which is going to be Nekrotek. Now, Nekrotek is actually quite a simple ability. Trigger an effect when you discard a card. So you can see that this is going to be bringing the discard mechanic actively into the game, which is pretty interesting because if you played Hearthstone, maybe this is going to be throwing a lot of Warlock vibes, and maybe coupled with some very good card draw abilities that they might get, this would be a very interesting mechanic. I personally love discard in Hearthstone, and if Everguild are implementing this in a good way, it would be a very fun mechanic to play. So now, without further ado, let's get right into the game, right? And the first thing that I want to present is a tactic, Purge Protocol, a 4-energy tactic which says, when played or discarded, deal 5 damage to a random enemy. So this is basically Mortar Strike, right, from Legacy, but with an added benefit of triggering whenever you discard this card. So technically speaking, if you play something that discards and you choose to discard this, it is also going to activate, which is pretty cool. And on top of that, you can also activate this without discarding it. So I would say it's a very good tactic. Mortar Strike used to be a very cool ability, and I think this is going to be an even better replacement. Now the next thing is another tactic, which is Malefic Onslaught. 1 energy, discard a random card and deal 3 damage to an enemy. So 1 energy, 3 damage, and also targeted is extremely good. It's basically a better version of Quickfire, but you have to be careful because it discards a random card. So you don't want to be hitting something that is not something that is that doesn't have the discard keyword. Otherwise, it might end up being a very, very bad thing. But just imagine on turn 1 playing this, and this hits Mortar Strike and the enemy Warlord takes 8 damage. That should be pretty freaking crazy, though it's not gonna happen too often. So the next thing that we have here is actually a troop, which is the Blood Slaughterer Demon Engine with 5 energy, 6/5 Berserk, and with Nekrotek you basically gain +2 and cleave 1. So whenever you discard a card, this is going to gain attack and gain cleave. Now, honestly speaking, unless we get some more support for this is not going to be too good, because 5 energy, 5 health is quite low, and you also need to discard on top of that just to give it even higher attack and cleave, which usually means that it's probably not going to be worth it, unless there's going to be some insane combo where you may put this card invisible and make this card invisible and then just buff it up with a ton of card draw and just card discard and just one-shot the opponent, right? Well, I don't know if that's going to be possible. I haven't seen like all the cards, obviously, but yeah, unless this is going to have some support, it's not going to be that powerful. Now, the next thing that we have here is the Cyclothrathine Ursarax. So another Ursarax, 2 energy, 1/3, and rally, discard a random card to gain +2 attack. So 2 energy, 3/3 is a very good value for the stats, but again, it discards a random card, so it's going to be very dependent on what it's going to hit, because if it hits something you don't want to hit, might not be that good, but otherwise a pretty interesting card itself. And finally, let us get to the main juicy part, which is going to be the legendary of this list, which is going to be Krol Yaekube, Archmagos Prime. And this is going to be your legendary card with 4 energy, 3/5, and shield. Now, even when you discard the ability that it has, the 4 energy, 3/5 with shield is already crazy. We have seen a ton of cards released like this, like for example the Forge Master, and also the other Mechanicum card that used to draw you a vehicle, and every single time it gets nerfed. Either the shield gets removed or the stats get nerfed, because such huge stats coupled with shield makes this unit well worth it even without its ability. But on top of that, it also comes with Nekrotek. Give Mark of Chaos to your other non-demon troops. So this could be a type of a board buff. You could technically also summon greater demons with this, but even without everything, the stats on this thing are completely insane. So I'm all for that. I'm all for that, guys. So yeah, that pretty much concludes today's reveals. And thank you for tuning in, and leave a comment and tell me what you think. Ecclesiarch out.